You are listening to the Pencil and Paper Podcast Network.
I'm Katrina, and I love anime.
I'm Steven, and I'm aware of anime.
But what if that affection could rub off?
Perhaps that excitement in her eyes got me curious.
I could offer up some solid anime.
I could give them a watch, just to see what all the fuss is about.
And maybe, just maybe,
I could learn to love anime too.
welcome to Inspired by a Weeaboo. Hello everyone and welcome back to Inspired by a Weeaboo. I am your host Katrina and with me is my husband Steven.
Hello.
We just finished episode 45 of Fullmetal Alchemist. Steven, what did you think?
Still got questions. There are things that are answered a little bit, but then there are some other things that I felt like this is setting up more chess pieces for other things to kind of go down. Because we kind of start with Hohenheim and Dante kind of discussing why their bodies, why Dante's body is rotting.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of learn about their, everything about them. I mean, it's 400 years of like where this began. And that was not what I was expecting. I mean, I guess I should have, because like you mentioned, something about the railroad being 100 years plus before it got put in. Should have given me. So I kind of figured there was something about that, but 400 years was not what I was expecting. So Dante tries to convince Hohenheim, there we go, there's his name, to help her with, the new body she has, since it's been a while since they've seen each other. But you can sense that there was, at least at one point, some romantic entanglements there. Although Hohenheim is very clear. He's like, I had a wife, that's who I love, and I've moved on pretty much. So Dante they have a little back and forth talking about her exploits with husbands and whatnot, and I guess that she's had to re-up her look for a while, since it's been, again, 400 years. So the two of them were responsible for creating a Philosopher's Stone, but it almost made it sound like they were saying it could have been the very first, but I don't want to, it's kind of implied, but not really said, I guess, maybe.
Yeah.
And they used plague victims and, like those accused of witchcraft and things like that to do what they needed to. And he was almost killed when he actually did create it. So then Dante transferred his soul into the body of another person who was there in the transference.
By using the Philosopher's Stone.
Yes. So proving that it can be done. Obviously, we can see it wholeheartedly. So as all this is kind of going on, Lust overhears it, and she's realizes that it's all been for naught, like they've been played. But Dante is like, well, if you just do what I tell you to, then maybe, we can work on getting you what you need. But essentially, it's been this goal for immortality, and it's Hohenheim tells her point blank, it's not. You cannot be immortal.
Yeah, there's no such thing as immortality.
Yeah. So back in Risenbull, Winry and Cheska are kind of doing this, arguing over cooking.
Yeah.
And I thought, I still have to remind myself at times what time period this takes place in, because Winry's like, look at this new oven thing I've created. And it's like, okay.
It's a conventional oven, Winry. We get it.
And just talking about all the amazing things it can do. And we're like, yes, I've seen an oven. I got it. But anyway, as they're kind of doing their thing with the cooking in the kitchen, there's a phone call, and we can tell it's Tucker, because it's that very quiet
Yeah, his whispery way of talking since he got turned into a giant man-bear pig.
Mm-hmm. So Al has to, he takes the call, well, he gets the phone message,
Yes.
from Winry
Mm-hmm.
and deduces who it is, but he doesn't tell Ed when he comes back, which I didn't quite understand why. They're all these people are about secrets. They don't tell nobody anything. They just, I can't tell anybody this or I can't tell anybody that. It's like, why not? Share alike.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't understand why everyone's all about being honest, and then you get mad when someone's not being honest with you, and then yet you're sitting there keeping secrets too. You're a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Anyway, back at Central, Mustang is talking to the council about some things, and then amidst all the chit-chat about pretty much the Elric brothers and how that whole situation is going down, Mustang takes the opportunity to be like, while we're talking about all this, I do want to bring up one little piece of information that has come to light. And Bradley's like, well, everybody's dismissed. We'll be alone. He's like, no, everybody needs to hear this. And calls out the secretary, who's, Juliet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Juliet Douglas, I think is her last name.
So he calls her out as being
a homunculus.
A homunculi or a homunculus, and being responsible for Mayhew's death. Mm-hmm. And Bradley just kind of stares him down. He doesn't really have much to say, and that's kind of where we got left with him. Even though everybody else is like, what? So I think at that point, Bradley knows that he knows. I would almost bet that was what that look was.
Yeah.
But we don't...
Because he almost smirked.
Yeah.
But, in a way like, you cheeky little ant.
But we don't really see him, like, what the outcome of that is. Because from that point on, we cut back to him walking out. And Havoc is... Hawkeye, sorry. Hawkeye is out waiting for him and just kind of dusts his brow off for some reason. And then he just kind of gives a smirk. And then one of the guys, who was it that was in the hospital bed?
That was Havoc.
Okay, yeah. Havoc is...
He's the one that smokes and got the, gunshot through the hand and all that shit. And of course he's a womanizer. So what had happened to him? Oh no, he got hurt in one of the last episodes, did he not? Yeah, he got the bullet through the hand when it ricocheted back at him.
So he was in a hospital bed and like stone cold dead, it looked like at one point, because I guess a nurse turned him down.
Yeah, he was infatuated with a nurse and she supposedly turned him down or whatever. But yeah, he was all butthurt. Same way, remember, he did basically the exact same thing with Colonel Mustang's little sister. Colonel Armstrong, sorry, not Mustang. Colonel Armstrong's little sister. He is so bad at rejection.
Yep. So, yeah, I remembered him having that, and I was just like, what the hell happened now? So we saw the flashes of this nurse, and he's just even worse off.
Just crying.
No, he was pale white, just dead, like a zombie. I'm like, Jesus Christ, she crushed him. Anyway, back in Resin Bull, Ed is planning some ruse to get to where he needs to go. He changes his color of his hair using alchemy, which if you could do that all the time, why not?
Right?
And then he hides Al in a big statue.
Yeah.
And
totally unsuspecting giant statue, by the way.
Yeah. And they just pretty much say, we're going off on an adventure, and they're asking, is it going to be about... Well, Cheska pretty much questions, is this a revenge thing, or what's your angle here? And he doesn't necessarily say it is, but then he kind of implies that maybe it is. So
I feel like it's more serving justice, not so much revenge.
But
yeah.
Yeah, back at the hideout, Hohenheim is explaining that their souls are gradually dissipating each time they have to do a soul transfer, and they're just not going to have the energy to do it anymore. Because in the previous episode, and I don't think I mentioned that, he mentioned something about, their energy's running out.
Yeah.
And Dante doesn't want to hear it. She thinks that, there's still some way to kind of keep this going, and she's going to use the last bit of their old stone, or she did use the last bit of their stone to transfer into Lyra. And she mentions to Hohenheim about Alphonse and what Scar did.
Yes, that, she states that one of your boys has been turned into the next Philosopher's Stone.
Right. So it's at this point that he gets distracted. Hohenheim gets distracted because he sees off in the distance Sloth, who is, again, the spitting image of his wife, walking down the stairs with that baby of Rose's, who is noticeably absent. Is she dead, I'm wondering? Because,
you see her in the episode, but yeah.
Well, I didn't see her. But she's coming down the stairs. He spots her and goes into some big flashback deal, distraction, until next thing you know, Sloth has him wrapped up and held captive. And then Lyra, I don't know why I keep saying Lyra tells Hohenheim that there is a way or something regarding the source of alchemy is beyond the gate. And they're going to use Rose's baby as a key to open the gate and banish him inside of it. And during that transference, as they kind of did this thing, Wrath comes out running, and I was really afraid they were going to kill that baby. I will say that, because the way it was kind of going down, they were all nonchalant about it. I was like, is this baby going to die? And then as Wrath comes out screaming, freaking out about the gate, you see the baby off in the background. So the baby was fine. But still,
even though it literally got yeeted like 10 feet into the air.
It did. So they were, trying to calm Wrath down. And when he went inside the gate, he saw a bunch of eyeballs. What exactly did he see? Or what was that something... Like, what was that supposed to entail, or is that going to be explained?
Well, in Brotherhood, it's explained a heck of a lot more because, again, as of right now in this, everything is completely different than the manga and then in Brotherhood. But in Brotherhood, or in this, it's just kind of assumed to be like, I guess I would classify him almost as like the keeper of the gate.
Okay.
Kind of thing. It's what pulls, the homunculus through and takes your exchange and all that kind of shit. It's just, kind of there.
Yeah.
But it's kind of explained a lot more in Brotherhood as to what the entity is.
Gotcha.
More or less.
So after we kind of cut back to where we're at, Dante releases Lust and tells her and Sloth to go after, Sloth and Wrath, right? Yeah.
Yes, Sloth, Wrath,
and Lust.
And Gluttony.
They are to go after Alphonse, bring him to her so she can have her stone.
Yes.
And if she does get her stone, then maybe they'll be human, because that's what they wanted. Now, meanwhile, I really don't understand what the whole purpose of this whole disguise thing was, other than just to be a comedic moment, because it served no purpose other than to be that.
I mean, I will say that obviously the military, they're not completely stupid, because as soon as they saw a giant statue, they're like, let's go check the giant statue. Which obviously is where Alphonse is hidden. However, Ed, he's wearing like a trench coat and this big hat and has his hair dyed green. And then he's wearing stilts. So, the soldiers come out and they're talking about how one of them's really tall and the other one's a dwarf. Which, first of all, that one soldier ain't got any fucking reason to talk.
No.
He was like child-sized. Anyway.
But yeah.
Obviously, Edward's getting like super irritated, but trying not to show it because, they're insulting him, but he doesn't want to be like, how dare you? And when they go after Al, or after the statue, assuming that, somebody's hiding in it, and lo and behold, of course, somebody is, Ed kind of plays his hand, and you see that, he was wearing stilts and all that kind of stuff. So it is kind of a little funny moment that's going to break it up, which you're going to be thankful for, because by the ending episode, it's going to get dark.
All right. Anyway, they are found out pretty much, and then they get off the train and start heading to their destination or what have you. And back at command, Mustang meets with Armstrong, where Armstrong had gotten promoted, correct? Or who got promoted here?
I'm pretty sure Armstrong had received a promotion when Fuhrer Bradley kind of put him in charge of like his own little task force to kind of get him away from Mustang.
So wouldn't he be Brigadier General now that Archer's out of the picture?
I don't think they gave him the Brigadier General title, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me look.
I was just curious. Anyway, the two of them, or someone, maybe both of them did, I don't know. Both of them are ordered to launch military operations across the border into the north to capture Ed and Al and force the drachma to send them back. But Mustang reveals that he's kind of testing what Fuhrer's reaction was going to be, part of the plan to verify what Ed and Al had said before about who Bradley is. So since it gave pretty much confirmed what they had said, Mustang believes that they're going to be murdered at the front lines the moment they get up there. So since they know everything. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the episode, we pretty much get to where Ed and Al were heading. Ed meets with their old sensei, Izumi, who has been in hiding, and at Dante's house, actually, to learn, what secret her master had been hiding all this time. And he asked her point blank if she has any part of her child's corpse. And, giving him, obviously, a weapon to use against Wrath. And meanwhile, Al travels to an empty factory where Tucker is waiting for him, and Al asks Tucker to help him use the Philosopher's Stone. Mm-hmm. So that's where we get left off. Where is this going to go from here?
Yeah. And I did look up to see if Mustang was promoted. And yes, in the 2003 anime, which is the original adaptation of the manga, which is the one we are watching, he is promoted to Lieutenant Colonel.
Oh, okay.
But he is still only ever referred to as Major Armstrong.
Gotcha. So, yeah, here's a fun little trivia bit that I found that might be interesting to some peoples. And you didn't say anything about it, which I felt like if anybody would have picked up on it, you would have. Because I know you've talked about this before, but apparently Ed's disguise that he was wearing, they say that it's a possibility it could have been a nod to Alucard from Helsing.
I mean,
again,
yes, I can see why they would think that, especially with the hat, because the hat isn't like just some normal, hat you would see somebody wearing. It's like a very large hat.
Hmm.
So, yeah, I guess I can kind of see where it is or where they feel like that would be from. But honestly, I would go more for almost a Vampire Hunter D looking aspect with the hat and everything.
Yeah.
But, I mean, regardless, I'm sure they pulled, inspiration from several things.
I mean, we've seen that before in the show where there's been like little winks and nods to other anime.
Oh, yeah.
Or manga or whatever, so it wouldn't be that far-fetched.
No, it wouldn't be that far-fetched.
If that's what they were doing. But again, it's a very simple costume too, so.
Yeah. Which, that is another anime I would love for us to watch sometime, would be Hellsing. The only thing is I would want to find the original that I watched, because I know, like Fullmetal Alchemist, they came out with a whole nother one that I'm going to guess follows more along with the source material. However, the original was very dear to my heart. So, I just have to see if I can find it.
Yeah. I would probably guess that it was also done by Aniplex, because they seem to be the ones that are losing their rights here in the U.S. to have these anime. Because you can't tell me they're just being, left in the dust and just destroyed. Whoever in Japan has them, they I don't know what the rights issue is, but something's amiss. I don't know what it is.
It makes me so angry because I bought the entire box set of Hellsing from Sam Goody's, when that shit actually existed.
Yeah.
And I had let a kid in my school borrow it because he was an anime fan, and then I never got it back. He told me it was stolen out of his backpack, and I never knew if he just stole it or if he, was actually telling the truth and it was stolen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it made me very salty because it was the complete Hellsing box set, and I bought it for like $25 because it was when that business was going out of business.
I have a similar story about someone thieving from me. It pisses me off every time I think about it.
Right?
Because I had recreated a comic that I did back in high school with better art, better story, just refined it and even put it in this nice little binder.
Mm-hmm.
And took it to the job that I had, and I handed it to a good friend of mine, and he read it. And then other people were like, "Hey, can I read it too?" And then, of course, it got passed around, and then by the end of the day, it was just gone. And I was like, "What the fuck, people?" And it was like, "I don't know what happened to it."
Yeah, that's a
I just don't understand why someone would have just stolen it or destroyed it or thrown it away or whatever it was. Why?
Because people are assholes.
Yeah.
We should learn not to let people borrow stuff.
This is why I have trust issues.
Right?
People are just like, you gotta be more trusting. Why? People have been nothing but horrible.
Right?
So.
I've had so much anime stolen from me. Like, not just my box set of Hellsing, but I used to collect the New Type USA magazines, and they used to come with DVDs that were like, what would you call them? Not a demo DVD, but it would have like random episodes of different animes. You'd get like maybe 3 or 4 episodes of 3 or 4 different animes. And it was kind of like I guess it would be a demo, kind of like, hey, check out this anime. If you think you like it, well, this is where you can find it, and then you can buy it. Like, okay. I used to have a fuck ton, literal fuck ton, those old school CD cases that are like this thick. I know y'all don't know how thick I'm talking, but about this thick. When they're full. Had like 3 of them bitches filled up. Had a shit ton. I now have one of those CD things left, and it was the one I found at Granny's house not too long ago, because the other 2 were stolen when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Because I was dumb enough to let somebody borrow them. And it wasn't just a random person I would let borrow my stuff. They were friends. And I would let them borrow them. And then kind of, like you said, they let somebody else borrow them. And then all of a sudden it was like, well, I didn't have it.
Which
I don't know what happened
garbage.
to it.
You don't let other people borrow something that's not yours to
Fuck
lend
no.
out. I don't understand that mindset. It's like, now if you want to borrow it, you're going to have to go to them, not me.
Yeah, I still remember the one motherfucker who borrowed my Hellsing. I know who you are, and I have you on Facebook. He also stole my Korn CD. Corn's greatest hits. God dang it. I bought so much good shit from Sam Goodies.
Yeah, and for those who might not know what Sam Goody is, it was Amazon, but in, a store form.
It was amazing.
I
You
don't wanna
could
say
buy CDs, records. It was the only place in Belle Fountain, Ohio that sold anime. Like Walmart, you might find, you could find something every now and then that was animated. But Sam Goodies, if you wanted video game stuff, if you wanted anime stuff, that's where you went. Outside of like Hot Topic. But Belle Fountain didn't have a Hot Topic. You had to go to freaking, Columbus to get to Hot Topic. But me and my friends, like, I probably spent hundreds upon hundreds of dollars at Sam Goodies. Because stuff wasn't as expensive. Like, if you buy a box set from Walmart, unless it's something that's been out for freaking decades, you're still going to pay probably upwards of $50-$60. But at Sam Goodies, you could find those deals where, they were cheaper. And when they started going out of business, oh my God, me and my friend Ariel, we bought so much anime. And you could buy books, t-shirts, posters, like I said, music. We actually went to one, several years ago when Calliope, our daughter Calliope, when she was little, there was one up in Cookeville. Up in Cookeville, Tennessee. We went up to visit Steven's brother, and we went to a Sam Goodies, and our whole intent was to buy something for our son Anakin because his birthday was around the corner, and we did. I think we bought him that backpack. It was a Zelda shield backpack. Or sorry, Link's Master Shield backpack.
Yeah.
But we also bought Calliope a was it Rocket Raccoon? Yeah, which she still has. She still has her Rocket Raccoon. But yeah, that was like the first Sam Goodies I had seen since I was in high school, and I graduated in 2009.
And the only reason we bought that for her is she didn't know who Rocket Raccoon was.
No, we were buying it. We were originally going to buy it for Anakin.
Yeah.
Like, we had picked it out for Anakin, and she didn't know who he was, but by God, she fucking wanted that raccoon.
Yeah, she was probably, hell, she wouldn't have been that old.
She's a toddler. She's a little bitty.
Two. Yeah. So, but she fell in love with Rocket.
Oh, she did. She absolutely loved him. And like I said, she still has him. She's 9 now. She still has him.
Doesn't care about Rocket as much anymore, but, at the time.
But she still has him. Yeah. And that's the main thing. And Anakin got an awesome backpack that, lasted a whole year before it got destroyed.
As kids do,
Yeah. Let's be real. Backpacks are not made to withstand more than a year.
I don't even remember any of the backpacks I had in school.
That's because the backpacks we had in school were not as cool as the backpacks kids have now.
But at the time, you'd look at them and be like, yeah, this is my backpack. This is, you picked the one you thought was cool for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, some of the stuff that they get now, shit.
Yeah.
Spoiled little.
I had a super awesome backpack that I actually think was bought from Sam Goodies. When, I know we're kind of getting off subject, but still.
Way off.
When my mom actually started acknowledging that I liked anime, and she had actually bought me, it was one of the mailbag type backpacks, and I think it was Naruto. It was designed to look like Kakashi. For anybody who knows Naruto, you know what I'm talking about. But designed to look like Kakashi Sensei's vest for the Hidden Leaf Village. And it was like my favorite freaking backpack for years until, the shit ton of high school books that I had to carry around and ripped. But anyway. So yeah, I guess we can go ahead and hop into the next episode since we've totally went on a random tangent about Sam Goodies and anime and all the stuff that all you young people missed out on.
We may have people who are like, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
I would hope so. It hasn't been that long ago that Sam Goodies just kind of filtered its way out. But there are still some around, as far as I know. I'm not sure if that one in Cookeville's still around, though, but Maybe.
I don't know. I'd like to go up there and find out sometime, but I don't feel like it would be anymore.
Yeah, maybe not. But anyway, y'all all know where you can listen to us. It's been the same all this time. So, if you don't know, you can always go into the links down below and, check us out. But I assume that if you found us, then you know where to find us.
Well, all the links down below will take you to anywhere you want to go. And if you have a different platform you want to be on, go check out the main webpage on pencilpaperproductions.com.
There you go. 100%. All right, my weebs. We will see you next time.
This has been a Pencil and Paper Podcast Network production.